Finally, almost 3.5 days later, I got a return phone call from Wooster Police Department. My frustration is, as you just said, that Wooster Police only get involved in criminal, not civil, and yet Wooster Police continue to be there and treat us as criminals, but then when I report theft, it's not treated as a criminal act. If Marilyn Raby hasn't gotten herself in enough trouble, breaking law after law after law after law, and the list can go on, right? Now it's a family affair. Her daughter's getting involved. Her granddaughter's getting involved. Friends of the family are getting involved. People with fake accounts are getting involved. Marilyn's daughter Stephanie has made a Facebook post pleading with people to help report and take down our videos on all Marilyn's illegal criminal activities. Oh, by the way, Curtis as well. Yeah, number one, that ain't ever gonna happen. That's out there forever. Number two, it's not only on YouTube, it's all over Facebook and it gets more views on Facebook. So you got a little bit of a road ahead if you're gonna make that battle. Number three, I think you've got about 6 or 4 or maybe even 2 people who have shared and tried to do something versus 500,000. Oh, by the way, the first issue and the first video with your mom is now encroaching 10 million views on YouTube and Facebook combined. 10 million. 10 million. Yeah, you got yourself a little bit of a battle there because you're reporting one video and there's almost 2 years of videos. And by the way, Stephanie, if you're gonna go out there and throw stuff out there to the people and plead with them, you should tell them a few things. Number one, fact check. You are one of my key witnesses. You! Why don't you tell them that? Wait, hold a second. Who was the very first person to write a check to B&M Storage? That's right, it was you, Stephanie. And B&M doesn't stand for Bad Mom or Bad Marilyn. That stands for Brian and Marilyn Storage. You are my best witness, Stephanie. This is gonna get fun. Oh, by the way, as far as fact checking as well, if you're gonna tell people that I'm making money, I make money by buying and reselling. Your mother has destroyed my business model. Your mother has put multiple people out of work and their families based on her illegal and criminal activities. You don't get to decide what's right and wrong. The judge will decide and a jury will decide. The judge will decide on August 5th. The jury will decide on September 13th. One of those people that came to Stephanie's aid, Marilyn's granddaughter. Number one, the lease. Yeah, the lease, that is a physical piece of evidence that has already been submitted to Marilyn's lawyer. Your grandma knows about it. Her lawyer has it, okay? So if you want to see it, come to court. Number two, who invited you to the adult table? Nobody said that you could leave the kid table and come up to the big people. This child is actually lucky that I blocked her after initial conversations, because in her protection mode of family and grandma, she would have created further liability, not only for grandma, but for herself. And so, me being me, knowing the system, knowing what Marilyn has done, knowing that the evidence is there and it's all going to be presented, I just went ahead and I blocked her, and that way there's no further issues for this individual. Marilyn will pay for her own issues. Here we go. More little kiddies trying to play at the big boy table. Sorry, wannabe? I'm pretty sure I am. I think it's already happened. It's there. It's not a wannabe YouTuber. I am a YouTuber. Hey, and if you don't want somebody blasted on YouTube, don't do dumb, illegal, criminal things to them. at least be smart enough as that coward who hid behind a fake name and a fake profile. Oh my goodness. 3 against millions. Remember, all of you fans, all of you subscribers and viewers are invited to the August 5th hearing, that's with the judge on the contempt of court, and the September 13th hearing, that's the jury trial. All of this, everything is public information. Marilyn's name, Marilyn's number, Marilyn's address, it's all in the court system. It's all public information for you. Here's what I love about this whole situation though. They actually are helping us because they're fools. They have no idea how the platform YouTube works. They have no idea how the platform of Facebook works. And every time they beg somebody to interact with the platforms, whether positive or whether negative, the content will never come down. It's there forever. What happens is that content gets pushed further and further and further to more and more and more people. They're actually making Marilyn's criminal activities famous. Finally, almost 3.5 days later, I got a return phone call from Wooster Police Department. Now, I have not heard what they have to say yet, except to give them a call back because they called very early in the morning and we had a very, very late live stream and I have to stay up to the wee hours in the morning and in the day to actually edit videos for you the next day. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna call back Wooster Police Department and hopefully they have some news on us where our stolen trailer is and what they're gonna do about all the theft at the warehouse.
Hi Jeremy, this is the Wooster Police Department calling back in reference to your complaint last week. When you get this message, you can call 330.
See how we go here. Hopefully we have some kind of news.
Police and fire dispatch.
Yes, can I be connected with badge 17, please?
Okay, may I ask who's calling?
Jeremy Hales, Hales.
Will he know what this is in reference to?
I'm returning his phone call.
Okay, hold on just a moment. Let me see if he's on any call first here. See here. Oh, he is in court right now, sir.
Okay.
So how about if I transfer his voicemail?
Yeah, you can transfer me to his voicemail, or if you tell me a better time to call back, if you know when he's going to be out of court.
Hold on just a moment. I have no idea what time he'll get out of court. We never know how long court's going to run.
I can just give him another call in another hour. I'll just call dispatch again. I'll give him another call, and that way he doesn't have to mess around with voicemail.
Okay.
All right.
That's fine.
Thank you. Appreciate your help.
Bye. No problem. Bye.
Attempt number 2 to call the Wooster officer again. Let's see how things go. Hopefully he's out of court now. Here we go.
Police and fire at the dispatch.
Yes, may I be connected with badge number 17, please?
Your name?
Jeremy Hales.
You called earlier, didn't you?
Yes, I did, and he was in court.
Okay. Hold on just a moment. Let me radio him, okay?
Yep. All right, let's see if we can finally get some answers on where my stolen trailer is. We're on hold. Of course, been locked out of a building for over 1.5 years. Everything to do with this has been on hold. Come on. Come on. Some news is better than no news. Sounds like he's out of court. It's just calling him on the radio. But he could be on a call. He could be busy. Could be on lunch. What do you think he's going to say? Here's my guess. I tried to contact Marilyn, but she wouldn't return my calls.
Is this Mr. Hales?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to transfer you over to his phone.
Okay.
So stay on the line.
All right, will do. Here we go.
Hello?
Hello, this is Jeremy Hales returning your call.
Hi, Jeremy. This is the officer you spoke with last week.
Yes, sir.
I had a busy end of my shift. I got into a domestic and a crash that took me well past shift, and I was off at the weekend as I could go and get back with you.
Okay.
I have not had any contact with Marilyn, and it seems that I'm going to give you a case number here. Stand by with me here real quick. I'm pulling it up. Did you sell that trailer to a friend and he reported it?
Yeah, I sold it. I sold it to Brian Vikeski, but he didn't put plates on it yet. But since he didn't he didn't transfer it yet, it's still in my name, and therefore it's my stolen property.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. And so I did everything we talked about under the original report from him.
Okay.
I think McConnell took a report for him. Do you want the case number?
Yeah, case number would be helpful.
Okay. It's going to be a Wooster PD case 21-36429.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's basically going to be a continuation of everything you guys have under your report, and something that she could be held for under restitution once you guys get all this civil matter figured out.
So if I
I
understand,
actually watched all of. I've talked to my captain, and we watched McConnell's stuff back and read his narrative, and it was the same trailer that you were talking about reporting.
yes, it is the exact same trailer.
He had me do basically a supplemental report to this, but everything is typed up under one. If you're going to need that for your attorney, you can try to request those narratives.
Okay, so
that way it shows when we were there, who we went to, and all that. Okay.
Will it show?
I called Marilyn 4 times, and I have had no contact with her, and I can't leave her a voicemail because her voicemail box is full.
Have you gone to her personal home?
I have not gone to her personal home.
Would that be the next step, or would that not be the next step?
I can look it up. Does she live in the county? I don't even know her exact address because of the involvements we've had with her.
Yeah.
I called in from 852 Spruce. I mean, I can find her. It's easy to find. But...
Yeah, she lives in Wooster.
Okay, right in the city limits, though.
That
I can look it up and find it here pretty easy.
That I don't know, because I don't know where the city limits are. And I guess my follow-up question is, I guess it's not a guess, it's just a legitimate follow-up question. You are not taking any action on any criminal activity of theft, if I understand you correctly.
Right. I did a supplemental report to the original complaint they had, and it's the same disposition as Patrolman McConnell typed up, based on your guys' current court situation in civil court, with you having to have your lease expiring on the 7th. You guys have another court coming up.
Yes.
I understand. So I did, per my captain, a supplemental report about your trailer and everything that we spoke about on the phone. So that's all in there, in the call card.
Did your captain have...
your attorney.
Did your captain have anything to say about the trespassing threats from McConnell and Truitt? Is it true? What was the female officer's name?
The female officer would be Chuhai.
Chuhai.
The one that was on scene, but I don't think she had much involvement because I don't see anything typed up here from her.
I wouldn't expect she did much. She refused to do anything.
And speaking of just a quick talk with Captain, I think Patrolman McConnell explained it basically the best he could based on your guys' civil court order. Hang on, sorry, just a second, Jimmy.
No problem at all.
I'm on 19. Can you stack it for me?
no problem.
So I think, yeah, I think Patrolman McConnell explained it the best he could based on what we were seeing. Does that make sense? And it's not that he's threatening you guys to trespass, but when the court order says the 7th and you guys don't have a new updated information saying you should be there, I understand you saying that she didn't turn the water back on.
Mm-hmm.
Still keeps you as a legal tenant. I'm not arguing with you one or the other, but based on what the courts are saying in that, it could be seen as trespass, I suppose. So I don't think anybody's been in trouble for it yet. And
well, the major issue
resolved sooner than later.
Yeah. The major issue is this: she's a landlord leasing out space, and she can't file a trespass on tenants or frankly anybody that tenants want on the property. It legally cannot be done. She's leased out space, and so there can't be a trespass because, as you're well aware, there is absolutely no eviction notice. Correct, from the court. I mean, you guys all know there's no eviction notice.
That's all we could see was the support stuff.
Yep, and so there is absolutely.
So if you guys, like you said, like Patrolman McConnell told him, if you guys have anything updated, that says the court says, yeah, go bring that with you guys. We can do civil standbys for you. If she shows up trying to hassle you, like, look, here's the court order.
But here's the issue with a civil standby. You guys do great with civil standbys. You're there to keep order, to make sure there's no physical or verbal abuse or contact between parties. A standby for me, that is a 10,000 square foot warehouse with my merchandise in there. A standby is going to be for 3 weeks or 4 weeks nonstop to take care of business. You guys, I can't call on you, and nor will you ever stand by for that amount of time. 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe at the most.
Right,
but
that's not feasible. I agree that amount of property you have is not feasible for us to do that. But if she is there and we have something in our hand that says you guys are all about to be there, then she can pound salt. I mean, she can complain all she wants about you guys trespassing, and we're not going to do anything with it, but just let you know, hey, it's on civil matter, it's in a report. That's basically what we would do.
Yeah.
So then you guys would be allowed to be there. That's just so much easier because, like I told you on the phone last time, there's two sides of every story. We're just stuck in the middle. We have to filter through both sides and make the best decision we can. So that's why I think when Patrolman McConnell gave the advice that he did you on the original complaint, that was probably the best thing that he could tell you at the time. Does that make sense?
It makes sense from your point of view, and as you say, there's multiple point of views. It makes absolutely no sense from a court point of view because there's no eviction.
It's so much easier if you have something through the court that says, yeah, okay, the 7th, he's still a tenant until this time, until the water's on, and it's in, we have all that.
Well, in reality, you do, because there's a hearing on the 5th about it. So you have it. You just aren't reading it as, okay, so I'm just going to play common sense here. Common sense, number one, court hasn't issued any eviction notice. Therefore, I'm not evicted. Common sense, number two, there is a court date, August 5th, in the hearing of this. And therefore, until there is any decision made there, no decision can be made or anything be enforced in regards to the Wooster Police Department. So that's where I fall on it, on the side of every story has two sides.
Right. Your thinking on this, you being a prior landlord, is, hey, it's your time's up, and they say, no, I'm not leaving. Well, they would have to be evicted because you put that info.
Correct.
Well, on the side, hey, 7, you know what I'm saying? So it's a complaint from both sides that we just have to read it the best way we can. That's why he gave the information and said, hey, you guys might not want to come back until you have a new court. Because I watched some of his videos, so I know what he said that he gave at the time, and that's why I was told to do a supplemental because it was the same trailer that Brian had reported, and it was already covered. So there was 2 incidents easy to find. Everything's under that idea too.
So is it feasible to request you to visit Marilyn's home, since she's obviously not responding to the Wooster Police, and see if you can make contact?
I can do that for you if she's in the county. My sergeant won't let me, if it's civil matter, travel outside the county to do follow-up.
Yeah, it would fall under Wayne County Sheriff, right?
I have no problem doing that for you because I think Patrolman McConnell actually in his narrative stated that Marilyn will not tell him where the trailer is.
Oh, so she specifically would not reveal that information to the patrolman McConnell.
I'm looking at his. Hang on just a second.
She refused the information.
I'm actually trying to read his as we're talking here.
Wow. How bitter and how, I mean, she created this mess.
So yeah, basically his his thing he told Marilyn was she could be liable for the trailer, civilly liable for the rest that's been happening. So I'm sure in his notes. But that request, all that'll be in there.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
I said, yeah, that all the stuff that I'm telling you, that case number I gave you.
Yeah.
If you want to come do the obviously records, but you'll have the supplement that we've typed the thing that she told Patrolman McConnell, and I love that she didn't answer the phone voicemail full. I had contact. Obviously, I can try to go to her house for you today. If I have time with her there, I mean, obviously I can force her to tell me where it's at, but it didn't file that, hey, she's not cooperating.
Yeah, and the trailer is an issue, and then the Curtis, which I believe Curtis is her son. Curtis is giving stuff, my personal property away. So if you go by the warehouse and you see some guy giving stuff away, I mean, I would truly appreciate it if you would approach him. Now, I think he's going to tell you the truth. No. I mean, Marilyn won't even tell you what she did with the trailer and truck. But, you know as well as I do. You know as well as I do, thieves aren't that smart, and 99% of them tell on themselves, and that's why they're in jail. So if you can talk to him and get him...
They're just going to say, they're going to say, hey, he was supposed to be out by the 7th. This will allow you this. That's what they're going to say.
And you go, where's the eviction notice?
Right.
You go, show me a copy of the eviction notice.
Right. And does Brian still have a good key? It looked like Brian had a key when he was with Patrolman McConnell.
None of us have a key. Everything since that moment, Marilyn re-keyed all of the building yet again.
Okay.
Nobody has a key. So for us to even get our items in right now, so I do have an email from her lawyer this morning. Her lawyer has stated, we've asked for a key again. We've asked for unfettered access to remove all items under the court order. And he's responded that he can negotiate a time and a place to allow us to come in, which that's not going to work. I have employees on the clock. I'm not going to have somebody there standing there in my leased building and with a key and say, hey, you got to get out now because you're only allowed in here for a half hour. We need unfettered access. We need for weeks to get the job done. And he stated, then he responded to my lawyer and he said, well, if you need X number of weeks, let me know. We'll make that happen. And again, the issue is we don't have a key and my employees can't access anything. So what they're saying is, we'll unlock it for you for this amount of time. That's convenient to them, but that's not convenient for my business model, for my employees, and for the work that needs to be done. So that's
it's just a civil attempt to probably try to document something saying they let you get your property, but I mean it's got to work for both of you. That's how civil stuff works.
That's how it works. So yeah, you know as well as I do what they're trying to do is they're trying to open the door and go, oh well, we let Jeremy in. Well, we're not going through that door. We're going through the legal door of we need a key, unfettered access, utilities all need to be on, and it needs to be done within the time frame agreed upon within the court. So we're not even entertaining that, but we also don't want any issues with Wooster Police any longer either. There is no eviction notice, and so if we do go on the property to work, we should not have any issues whatsoever with Wooster Police. I mean, do you agree with me in that?
Well, like you said, I think Patrolman McConnell gave you the best advice he could based on what he read, because I think he read the whole civil thing on the court docket. So I would really appreciate if you guys had something more for us, actually have it in hand, highlight the parts where you want to be there. I understand there hasn't been an eviction, but on one side, you guys are acknowledging you were supposed to be done on the 7th, and she's changed the lock saying, hey, sold the property, no one else should be here. That's all. That's why we go down for the complaints of trespass.
Okay, now you got to you got to clarify here, because details are important, and especially as an officer.
I just explained
So you said that we're claiming that we should have been out on the 7th. We should have been out on the 7th if the contract, which was adopted by the court on both parties, was actually held up, which it was not. So to put...
If you have something in there specific you want to highlight that says you're allowed to be on the property, then go down and chalk it up as a civil matter. But that's why he was telling you guys he'd like to see you have something new updated through the court. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you realize we can't get that until August 5th. That's why it's in court. So we're going to play this circular game going back and forth. There is no eviction. It'll be handled in court on August 5th. Until a judge says I'm evicted, I'm not evicted.
And we just mediate these kind of things because it's a giant civil matter. We handle criminal stuff. We don't get in the middle of the civil stuff.
Agreed.
You guys, you're already on the right track. So, I mean, you just have to keep going with your attorney, riding it out till the 5th. I understand if there's stuff in there and the court's rule it's in your favor, then you just seek restitution for those items.
Which I am seeking restitution. But you understand my frustration.
I understand you're saying you're allowed to be there whenever you want because you're still technically a tenant on your side.
You just stated you only get involved in criminal issues, not civil, which I 100% agree with you. And that's my frustration.
I don't know what you said there. I'm sorry.
You cut out. Okay.
Cut out for a minute.
My frustration is, as you just said, that Wooster Police only get involved in criminal, not civil, and yet Wooster Police continue to be there and treat us as criminals. But then when I report theft, it's not treated as a criminal act. That's my frustration.
Right, because based on what we've seen, that's the way we're going about it is handling it as a civil matter. It's all documented for you guys. That way it goes through the courts. And that case number I gave you will help you with all that information of your documentation that you've had complaints on.
Yeah. So basically, in a nutshell, we have no resolution whatsoever. You will attempt to contact Marilyn and keep me updated?
Yeah, I will look up her house. If it's in the city, I'll definitely follow up. If it's outside the city, I'll just ask my sergeant for permission. Say, hey, I'll run out there. I can at least see if it's on the property because we don't know who towed it because she wanted us to tow them, obviously, like I said, and we didn't. Yeah. So she's personally had them towed or removed, so I don't know where they're at, and until she says so, I can't make it appear. So I'll try to find out for you and do the best I can to find your trailer. Let you know where it is. Okay. Ultimately, it's going to come down to what the courts decide between you guys for all your property and restitution stuff. Yeah. I will do that for you. And like I said, we get pretty busy here in the afternoons, but I'll do my best to make it over to her house. And I will be either give you a call this evening if I make it, or back on tomorrow from 6 to 6 as well. Okay. I know this is not easy for you. I know you're stuck in the middle, and your job is criminal activity, not civil activity. And I want to thank you for your professionalism. I want to thank you for calling me back. I want to thank you for actually paying attention to the issue. I want to thank you for promising to follow up. I want to thank you for what you do every day. I appreciate it. Yeah. Well, thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that, okay? And like I said, I'll touch base with you here as soon as I can to figure something out for you, all right? All right. Thank you so much. Yep. Have a good day. All right. You too. Bye-bye. Well, there we have it. No real answers whatsoever. Still have a trailer that is missing. Marilyn is eluding the Wooster Police. She will not tell the Wooster Police where the trailer is. That is in the first report from Officer McConnell. He was the officer on the bike. And they don't seem to realize if there's no eviction notice, I'm still a legal tenant. 2 days later, and I've yet to hear back from the officer.
again. Whether he was working late, whether he had more important things to deal with at the time, whether he's off for a little bit, I don't know. But what I do know is we heard back from Marilyn's lawyer, and you are not gonna believe what's happening now.